Murphy's Log, start 8. 3 blue, 1 brown. Well, I've been checking this stuff out today, but I want to mark a moment in the history of mankind. These two specifically. Well, this gets into it a little bit, and you can play this timeline. But I want to know.
Let's get to
this
Julian
happened.
Orson now, who is with MySpace co-founder and former CEO Chris DeWolf on his latest venture, a SPAC. Julia.
This is important to my last post on
Thank
YouTube
you, Dee, and that's right. In
clinical
addition to those MySpace titles,
insanity
Chris
by
Wolf, the CEO
definition
and founder
is
of
that the
mobile
clinic
game
is
developer
insanity.
Jam
Be in the
City.
field.
Chris, thanks
And
for
these
joining
people
us
have
today
been doing
as your
this
company agrees on a
perfect
SPAC
right here.
deal valuing Jam City
Talk
at
about
$1.2
terms that they're about to hit on the
billion.
index. Law, Fed,
Thanks for having me,
physics,
Julia.
marketing, engineering, psychology.
So, Chris, tell us, what's next for Jam City now that you will have over $115 million of cash on your balance sheet? What are you going to do with that?
This is about to be beautiful.
It's really the next logical step for us as a company. We started the company about 10 years ago with the idea of creating one of the largest mobile entertainment companies in the world.
Oppenheimer.
We've been growing in a
Bouncing
huge
right
way.
over here.
We have 20.
Did you see this? Look, did you see this? Now this is training because she's picking up on.
EBITDA is at 30% growth. So the market is getting bigger and bigger.
This is not something I would normally put out lately on my line, but this is so big on the far end of bad numbers way out that you need something in the historical numbers.
Cash for M&A and to grow
It's something
our
about $100 and something million on the floor. What you doing?
Now, it's worth noting that your games do rely on in-app purchases, and we have been very closely following this Epic versus Apple lawsuit.
This is what it is. I mean, I just caught Shepard freaking demolishing some governor the other day about his bullshit on Iran or Israel, right? Now, up, down, backwards, or sideways, we got some numbers. Now, which side of the pineapple cake I'm living at the moment?
Game developers, get reduced from 30%.
It's like 3 phases. Most of the physics works too. When you understand engineering, it helps you get 3 phase.
Nothing that we're necessarily counting on, and
1, 2, any of the first F1 plus F2 stuff. You can clearly see Newtonian mechanics.
So it sounds like you have a very different approach
this
to
means
this
things to them.
than Epic, also
they're
a
bringing
game
this
maker,
up
has.
about.
Sounds like you don't think that Apple has a monopoly?
If you're not listening to me, go watch this later.
I don't think that they necessarily have a monopoly.
No, I think that's enough
that's not really for us to decide.
This
work very closely with
goes
Apple.
all.
They're pushing the envelope.
We'll teach you about the AI right now and
technology. We're trying to figure out how to do that together to create the best mobile
entertainment
that we can.
So we got that covered. I wanted to show you another one here,
Chris,
real quickly, to the clinical insanity by definition. No offense, honey.
The numbers have
they
been
do
huge.
what they do here.
Home Depot with a 31%
Beautiful.
same-store
It's a
sales
very
jump.
beautiful
Look at
thing.
Target earnings yesterday. I guess the only question is there any way that kind of momentum is sustainable longer term?
Well, it's been an
I wish I could have gave you my real facial reactions when I first watched this. Some of my first thoughts. Well, in there, given what this is, they get to one where it's like a build. What is she supposed to do? And then they go right to the floor. Back. You want to use that heat, that light, that sound, that squeaky honey, and instead of running the stock market, because then you can actually provide a share of some of that heat, light, and sound YF over X on the floor. And if you see the mechanic got out at least some way off of the floor mechanics, and in the very elegant way, those two notations are different. Jordan Patterson, life at the bottom.
Q2 will be a more difficult comparison for these names. So in traditional times, a small negative percentage change might signify that the company is struggling for a regular company. However, for the big names that we just mentioned, like Walmart and Target, a negative 2% decline might actually tell us that market business volume is actually holding up very well. So it's very important to dig into these numbers even deeper. Look at e-commerce numbers as we progress and move forward into 2021.
It's not done yet. Watch what they do.
How much, Jerome, do the comparables even matter? Because the sad reality, in history will write this book down the road, but the sad reality is You know, a year ago, the government
They're
said that
actually
pretty much every
being very
small,
helpful.
sorry, local hardware store,
I don't know
you
how
have to
this
close
goes down the road,
There's
but
COVID.
you'll hear some
we're
notes
only
in
going
that
to
last
allow
one.
these stores to open. You can agree with that or disagree, but the point is, the comps were easier because other competition was shut down, and unfortunately, many of those mom and pops, they went away. They never reopened their doors. The big companies in some cities are the only ones that are left. How much does that propel their business for years to come?
Well,
we're looking at a social
it's not
event,
only the
which
big names
he's going to get into here in a minute.
This week
And it's all about meat on
It's
the
very
bone.
important to know that the earnings growth rate that
Sticks you add to the fire, some other stuff, and pretty heavy duty standard models you can use.
And it's not just only because of the easy
Gravity is a one-man thing,
one
woman thing, 42 pop up over here. I know I'm dead, but I'm not seeing it here, you know what I mean?
Callaway, and also outdoor gear, Vista Outdoor and Polaris. So we're seeing that a lot of the consumer behavior that we saw
what it is
Velveteen
Rabbit. Doesn't matter how beat you are, tore out joints, sharp edges, all that shit, man. When people love you.
The home improvement.
So you're inside of demographic, at least right there, and you can see the reciprocals.
And they're also still investing in the outdoor gear. So this shopping behavior has not
it's not
changed,
something that's always a choice when you've lived there long enough, and that's not just somebody there, that's on the timeline of things, and gravity gonna be
not until
tight.
2022 that we're gonna start seeing things going back to normal, even for the small business.
The home office was the no, because like I said, what is she supposed to do now
the
to get
death
off
of
the
the
market?
American shopper has left a bunch of beaten up investors in its wake.
Well,
we love to shop in
there's
this
a
country,
physics
Jerome.
to it.
It is kind of a
Upside down
national
pineapple
pastime.
cake.
Everybody says, oh, the internet's going to take over everything. The reality is, I don't know about you.
Then
I go shopping because I want to get out of the house. I love my family. I love my kids. But there are times you just want to go do something else, right? How much of the in-person experience do you expect to come back? Because I know you're not a REIT or a real estate analyst, but the mall owners are certainly hoping people walk around, on their own feet instead of just hitting click on a mouse.
And to your point, Shoe Carnival reported record-breaking earnings yesterday.
What I would get into away from economics is a little bit of sociology, fundamental failure, behavioral off of a brother. When you have to factor some neutrino calc onto the floor, going out to the mall, her going to a click, enjoying the systems, encouraging where you put your money to do those things, and kind of realizing on those skills that you would have been upside down here, and now is a good time to utilize all what you got here.
Going into Shoe Carnival to try on the latest merchandise, and they are paying full price for it. So they are feeling good right now.
Lots
There's
of
no
ways.
stopping them. The only thing that
look
could
at a D12 dozer, you know what I'm talking about,
the
bro?
strong sentiment that we're seeing is the unemployment number, because that's the one economic indicator that consumers understand very well. And if they feel that this will continue to deteriorate, they're going to put their hands in their pockets and hold back on spending.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.
At any rate, that's my note.